Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? I've been taking a little bit of a break from Tarkov just to keep it fresh for me for when 12.7 comes out, because the game really hasn't changed a whole lot in the last couple of years that we've been or at least I've been playing like every single day. So a little bored with it, taking a little bit of a break, but don't worry, we'll be back to Tarkov content on the regular soon enough. For those of you that don't know, I created a second YouTube channel. I'll put somewhere on screen. I don't know how this shit works anymore, but it is dedicated solely to all of the music that I make. I'm going to be putting up all of the songs that I have are on Spotify already. If I do any more videos involving music, maybe even music theory lessons, some maybe either playthroughs, cover songs, tutorials, I'm not sure, but a lot more music. That's going to be over on the Veritas music channel. So if you haven't already, please give that channel a sub. It obviously hurts going from having over 100,000 subscribers to having like 17 or whatever I had the other day. So show that some love. But I didn't want it to get in the way of my main kind of gaming content. All right, so getting that out of the way, this whole video started a few days ago when somebody came into my stream, and they had basically said that they had been banned from Tarkov, even though they'd been playing for like 3 years. They had succumbed to the frustration / desire to cheat, and for some reason, this time around, I was intrigued and decided to start asking them some questions, and they were really open. So I asked if they wanted to take some time to actually have like a proper interview and see if there's something interesting that we as a community can learn from somebody who, again, everything here is allegedly, someone who had allegedly been playing the game legit for over 3 years, and that recently had started cheating, paid a decent amount of money, and within a couple of days was banned. So again, I wanted to see what we could learn from it. I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to go ahead and make this whole thing public, just because some of the trepidations I had around potentially glorifying cheating or whatever. I ended up polling my community, and it was pretty overwhelming. That the idea was that if anything, it wasn't going to change anything having to do with cheaters. There's a chance that it could potentially help, or at least shed some light on the issue. So with all of that in mind, again, this whole discussion was so that we as legitimate players in a community can understand at least some of the people on the other side, see what their perspective is, try to learn a little bit about what it's like, and potentially dissuade others from going down that path in the future. So again, here we have the interview with a fellow who, leaving any information I have about him totally anonymous. He wanted to be left anonymous. He used a voice changer. It was a little hard at the beginning to understand. Maybe we'll have to like close caption it or something, but otherwise I think it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if this, if honestly, if you guys think that this is good for the community or not, to have a discussion like this, and any thoughts, concerns, questions, or anything like that. So anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, and enjoy. I think maybe explain how this all started. How long had you been playing? Is this the first time you've ever cheated in a game? Just give me a little bit of your history.
Basically, I've been playing since Christmas of 27. And when the game first came out, it was fun. I didn't really have a powerful enough PC, so all I ran was factory and customs. It was a really fun game. And then around 2018 to 2019, Interchange came out, and the game really just started going up and up and up, and so did the popularity. And it was fun. I have cheated in another game before, Counter-Strike, but I haven't really cheated on matchmaking. It's more hack be hack. It's entertaining, and else's game because you verse another cheaters in a cheating specific lobby. So yeah, that's the idea.
Okay. So you I understand you played Tarkov legit for,
Yeah,
was it months, for years? How long were you into
years,
Tarkov?
years. Since 2017 to 2020, I've played legit. And
2017.
overall,
Okay, so like 3 years.
yeah, it's been really fun. Um, Obviously, there's some experiences on Tarkov which I'll never forget. Um, kind of grew up with me. Um, I'm pretty young, and I was really young when I got the game. Kind of grew up with a community of people that I know, just a community of people. But I have played legit for 3 years, and I didn't really think about cheating until 2 weeks ago. Which, yeah,
So what made you consider
well,
cheating?
well, the triggering point was one day around 2 weeks ago. Because the only really map I know, this might sound stupid, but the only map I run is labs. Because when you get into legit fights on labs, it's really, really fun.
Yep.
But there was a day where I was just getting killed by some of the most blatant, like people running and jumping, like full out running, jumping around corners and killing you while jumping. It was ridiculous. I lost a lot of money. I think I lost like 17 million in a day. And I was like, yeah, this is stupid. It isn't really like I can win doing this. And there wasn't one raid where I came out with a legit person. Like, where there was a legit person in A Labs raid that I fought against. So I was like, yeah, can't beat them, join them.
Okay,
And here
so
we are.
what was it that you did? Did you just like Google Tarkov hacks, or like what?
Basically, I can't disclose the reseller for obvious reasons. This is to try and get people not to cheat, not to fuel it. So I can't really disclose how I can tell you how I got the cheese, but I can't disclose where
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
got
I
the
wouldn't
cheese.
want. I don't. The goal of this is, I don't
Stop.
want to promote any like
Yeah,
websites or anything like that.
yeah. Basically, uh, it was a video YouTube. Not obviously going to disclose. It was showing off a cheat, so I joined a Discord server, and the Discord server, one of the guys, he's a really cool guy. He was a reseller, and I just bought it off there. That's really it. I just bought the cheat, sent everything. I loaded it up, and I was good to go.
How much did you pay?
£25 a day. It's expensive.
So
Everything.
25 pounds a day.
It's like $29, something like that. $29 a day. You pay a
Jesus.
premium. You pay a premium price for something that's supposedly undetected. Yeah.
And so you earlier you said until 2 weeks ago. So how long were you playing before you got banned?
3 years. I've been playing since
No, I mean
2017.
when you started. How long were you cheating before you were banned?
Oh, cheating. Well, basically what happened was I bought can't really say too much information in case someone figures me out. But a little bit, few days.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So do you? So it was only a few days that you had been playing with the cheat. How many raids do you think you did?
Oh, 50 maybe. 50, something like that. I was up cause it's 24 hours its time, so as soon as I enabled it, I wouldn't stop playing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Uh,
You wanted to like get your money's worth.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of, in a weird way, it's a
It's
little fortunate that you got banned so soon because I assume that you only had to pay what, like £50 or something.
yeah. Could have been way worse. Also, for anyone that's considering cheating, don't do it. There's a way better. Just don't play labs too. It's not worth it. It's hack v hack central.
So when you are cheating,
Yeah.
and here is where I would probably like splice in some of the footage that you had edited for me. Um, how do you know if someone else is cheating?
Right. The more obvious thing is speed hacks. Now, the cheat that I had player ESP, player distance, unlimited stamina, unlimited recoil, no recoil. So the most blatant thing with other cheaters would definitely have to be speed hacks, silent aim, unlimited stamina. So if you just see someone running around the map and not stopping, that's a big red flag. And people just lasering you. Because obviously guns have a lot of recoil. Even a Meta M4 still has a little bit of recoil. But if you get lasered, you'll know the guy's cheating. And if you know, on your face shield, let's say you went an altar, um, sometimes some cheats have like rapid fire, so someone will have an M1A and the gun will be rapid fire, it'll shoot really quick and lock onto your head. So one shot from that M1A will actually cause 8 shots in your face shield, depending on the ammo. And you'll see them before you die. That's a red flag.
So
Definitely.
when you were during those 50 raids that you were cheating,
Uh-huh.
how what was like your survival rate?
I would like to say around, obviously I can't get out the game. I'll probably like to say around 80%.
So for those the 2 days that you were cheating, it was like 80%.
Around there, yeah.
Okay. And do you think were you ever killed by anybody legit, or do you think that you were killed by cheaters like every time?
I think I was killed by, this might sound stupid, but I was killed by legit players at the start of when I got the cheat card. I didn't know how it worked. Do you know that clip? You're probably showing it in your video. Do you know the clip where I peek on interchange and ollie? I peek with the AK and laser him. Basically, that guy shot me right in the head, and luckily it hit my face shield and didn't kill me. But not my face shield, my helmet, and didn't kill me. But that shot could have penned my helmet and killed me. That would have probably been the only time I've died by a legit cheater.
Yeah, because it looked like when I was watching it that at one point you were aiming at somebody, you were shooting them, and because there's no recoil and it would just snap to an enemy, it looks like there was somebody probably far off in the distance that it instantly like
Locked onto.
locked onto them, and maybe like you fired a few rounds, but they were probably like outside the building or something.
Yeah. Was that when I killed that duo in the duo in interchange?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the um the what do you call it? The aimbot has a lock-on rate on distance. So if an enemy's like 300 meters away, it'll lock onto him, but if it was 301, it wouldn't lock onto him. So that scarf was in distance. That almost got me killed.
Gotcha. Okay, and so you could see like player scavs, players. You could basically see every entity, and then there's a number that was next to their name. Is that like the number of meters distance to them?
Yes, that's distance.
Because one of the things I thought was interesting while watching it was that a lot of people think that, and I assume this as well, that if you're cheating, you must just like hit a button and you basically win. but I realized that there's, in a weird way, there is almost like a meta game on top of what you're playing, in that you're not only like running around through your surroundings, but you have to keep track of all of the overlays of all the players and their distances, and kind of like make sure that nobody is close to you, right? Because like
Yeah.
it's not, it doesn't look as straightforward as I think I assumed. You actually
It
need
isn't.
some additional like practice, I would assume, with the cheats, so that you're able to multitask, and because you essentially have all the information, right? So it's trying to figure out now, like, okay, well, rather than having one or two threats, there's 30 threats, and you have to figure out like which ones are close, which ones are actual threats, which ones you can deal with in the future, kind of thing. Like, how does, explain to me how that works, and what are some of the
Basically,
challenges?
let's say, because the challenges of cheating is there's definitely bigger fish that have paid way more money for their cheat and have got a better cheat. So silent aim, jump hacks, speed hacks. Silent aim is basically, do you know, let's say you came across a cheater, right? Silent aim doesn't lock onto the cheater, has like a circle or an FOV. And if there's someone in that FOV, let's say you have a Val, it'll just aim for the head and kill them. That's why you see so many people jumping with cheats. But for the for the engagement distance thing, it's way harder than it looks. Funny enough, because if you have 5 people running at you at one time, let's say a squad running at you, you've got to pick which one's closer, and with aimbot, it locks onto people, and you cannot switch lock onto their dead. So let's say you lock onto the wrong person and they're running, but the other 4 people are not running, they shoot you, you're dead. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, I found that when I was watching, trying to like put myself in that position, it's almost like I wasn't even looking at the people. I was looking at the number.
Yeah.
And like you're kind of looking at the box. You're it's almost like you're playing a different game, you know?
It is. It is. It's a strange. It's a totally different game when you're cheating to when you're not cheating. Because I would like to say Tarkov is ran on information. And if you've got a lot of information, you might seem like you can't die. But trust me, if there's someone behind you, you will die. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, okay. So you still have to be aware of your surroundings, and
Yes.
you still have to uh prioritize threats and position yourself in a smart way. Um you just have more information, right, than everybody else.
Yeah.
Was it was it
That's really
was
it.
it fun while you were doing it? Was it a different kind of fun? Did you like explain what it felt like while you were doing
It's
it?
weird. It's weird because I was looking through your Discord at the questions, and one of the questions was like, what's the sense of accomplishment in it? Probably is that if you get into a hack v hack battle, it's more like if you win that battle, you've won. Like that's a good feeling. But if you kill just a regular player like you, 90% of the Tarkov community, it isn't fun. It might look like fun. It might seem fun, but at the end of the day, Tarkov's about dying, reset, and it wasn't worth it. It's stupid.
Are you like glad that you got banned, that it was detected, or do you wish that you
Um,
hadn't, like, what are you thinking now after the
I
fact?
have massive regret doing it, because there's some people that I will never be able to play with again, that only play Tarkov, and that's kind of what got myself into. So if you do the crime, you got to kind of suffer consequences. But I don't know.
So
It was not worth it.
does anybody you played with know that you were banned, or you, because it doesn't like show, you don't get any information other than like you just don't log in anymore, right?
I told the main people that I played with I got banned. Uh, they were like, let's see what their reaction was. That's a really big possibility, Battle State. And if Nikita is doing that, smart guy.
Yeah, that's
really smart.
it's interesting. This is like something that I'm not gonna lie, I'm like on the fence whether or not I wanna include in the discussion. But
yeah,
at the same time, I realize like if it's true, giving the information out could potentially help cheaters. Yeah, okay, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just put in maybe I'll cut that out and just put the ending part where there are all sorts of clever ways that Battle State may or may not be doing things to catch cheaters that they might not know. So it's just not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk. That's really interesting. Yeah, I'll cut that part out because yeah, I don't want to inadvertently help any cheaters.
We do not want to fuel this at all, man. I came on here to stop people from cheating, not to fuel it.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything else?
So when you got banned, is that like I would think that I would then go to like the Discord and to the people who you were paying for something that was undetectable and be like, hey, what the fuck, you know? Like
I did.
So what was the response or the explanation, or like how does that all work? Because I'd imagine it's not like you have any, you can't, get a refund from it's like if you get robbed while you are doing a drug deal kind of thing. There's nothing you can do,
Yeah. Basically, I said, yeah, I'm banned. And then 10 other people said, yeah, I'm banned too. And I'm banned. So we all kind of realized that, yeah, this was a ban wave. Like one of Battle State's, update ban waves, and it just got banned. Just everyone that used this cheat got actually just washed out. Which is really cool.
Do you know how many people were using it? This was not something that was like thousands and thousands of people using a big mainstream cheat. This was like a small private cheat kind of thing.
This was private.
And can I include that or no?
You can't say it's private, yeah.
I'm just trying to put myself in the mindset of someone in your position. Part of me thinks that like having a small privately developed cheat, I would feel maybe safer just because you would think that less people are using it, and it wasn't less big mainstream thing, so it would be kind of under the radar and less detectable, but clearly that's not the case.
That's why I bought that cheat. Small, there was not many people using it, and it's kind of like, it was invite only. You could only get it from a reseller.
Gotcha.
It was invite only. You had to use like special key, so I did feel safe, and it was undetected, but no.
So was it like a .exe file that you just like double click and it would run some software in the background? Like what did it look like running it?
Basically you would load it up. It would be like a built-in injector. So you would load it up. Once it's loaded up, it'll say like it's loaded, and then it'll launch Tarkov. That's really it.
Watching when you were playing, let's say you got rid of the overlay, like there's no hiding. what you were
Yeah.
doing. I mean, you just lock on.
No, I was locking onto people and
Yeah.
lasering them. You couldn't hide that. But if I only had player ESP on, I could definitely hide it. Because I had to, on OBS, I had to use display capture, not game capture. Game capture would just show the game. Display capture would... I think I might have a clip somewhere of me using game capture. I'll have to have a look.
Yeah, I would be
I'll send
interested.
it over.
I'd be interested in that too. That'd be interesting to see without
But
without it.
yeah,
Interesting. Okay. So when you were on like interchange, let's say, did you like what percentage of the players, if you had to guess, would you think were legit versus like labs?
everybody on interchange I came across was legit. Labs, every raid I went in, I was a cheater.
And was it like half cheaters, half legit players, or was it like one
There
cheater in
was
every raid, or what?
there was at least one cheater in every raid. Sometimes there would be two, didn't see 3, 4, 5 cheaters in one raid. Yeah, every raid there was a cheater. So you would kill somebody and then you'd just see this man just traveling at some inhumane speeds, just flying across a map. And then you would try your best to run. But it's how it is.
Did you or anybody else that had the same cheat? Were you doing anything about like with like real money trading or selling?
I was I never actually sold anything for real money. Um, I had an account on an RMT website, but I didn't put anything on there.
So maybe if you had been going for a couple of weeks or something and hadn't been banned, it's possible that you would have.
Possibly, but it didn't happen, and but we will never know.
Yeah. So are you like, what would happen right now if you just bought a new account and installed the game and tried to run it? Would you think you'd still be banned, or would?
Get banned on that account. It was just insta-ban because hardware ID lock. So you get banned on your hardware, so you need a hardware ID spoofer. To get Tarkov again, it'll probably cost me an Edge of Darkness account. Like, enough money for an Edge of Darkness account if I did not cheat.
So, because I see that a lot. People will say, oh, it's, you'll see in the podcast that the chat will be spamming like hardware ban, hardware ban, hardware ban, and everybody, the response is usually it's easy to get around that. So like for a hardware ID
easy.
spoofer, is that just more money you'd have to pay? Is that like a one-time thing? How does that work? Do you know anything about that?
If you've got money, let's say if you've got a lot of money, you can get on Tarkov when you've been banned in 5 minutes. If you don't have much money, you're never getting on Tarkov again. Basically, you buy a monthly subscription to a hardware ID spoofer, you spoof your hardware ID, you buy a Tarkov account off a website, that's
How
it.
much and so how much would it cost to like buy the like a monthly fee for a spoofer and like an account and like the cheat?
I think it's like $45 for a hardware ID spoofer for a new account. Quickly have a look. It's like £30. So yes, £30.
So what, like $75 or something just
About there.
for is that like a standard edition?
Yeah. Edge of Darkness accounts can cost $70 and a kitted Edge of Darkness account can cost about $200. So let's say an Edge of Darkness account with every key card, basically every key, and a bunch of key assets can cost around $200.
And that could be banned in like 2 days.
Yeah, because if you buy an account, you're avoiding a lot of rules. Specifically says don't buy an account.
Yeah.
And when I was reading up, once I was banned, I was reading up on some of the rules. I should have done a while ago. Is what it is.
And then you had sent me the email. Let me look at it real quick. The email you got was saying circumvention tools, automation of access to the game. So yeah, it looked like it was basically just saying some form of software that was changing the game.
Yeah.
And I can show that screenshot.
You can. I've blurred my name out, so
Okay.
doesn't leave any traces of me. Yeah, you can show that. I've blurred my name out.
Cool.
That's really it.
All right. So yeah, so you'd be looking at. So was the $45 for the hardware ID? Is it like a one-time spoof, or is that like a monthly thing?
Monthly thing.
So every time you want to buy a new account, you're probably looking at what, like 40, $50 plus,
Yeah.
45 bucks a month for hardware ID spoofer, and then
And your cheats.
and the cheats, which in this case was £20 a day.
If you were buying monthly, it cost around £250.
That's like a brand new car.
That is a brand new car. Think of what you could buy for $350.
How many of the cheaters had EOD accounts?
None.
So they were all pretty much standard accounts.
Yeah, it was standard.
So I mean, do all the cheaters do they just assume that they're going to be banned?
Well, cheaters mostly RMT. RMT in a lot of cases has paid off a lot of cheats.
So then it's just a cost of doing business, and it doesn't matter.
It is literally a business. It's mad.
Who's buying the items? Are they just like new people?
New people. Which, by the way, if you're watching this, don't RMT, you get banned. New people. People that are, I don't know, people that have lost everything in raids. People also pay for raids. Like boosting sessions.
Yeah, because I've seen people that have been really sketchy, that I'm pretty sure were cheaters in labs, running around, looked like they were either speed hacking or what. But then when I look up their name, they're like level 45, for example. What's the explanation for that? Did they either get to level 4? Did they just started cheating on that account recently, or it's really easy to level up if you're cheating in a couple of days to get to level 45, or have they been cheating this whole time and they haven't been caught? What do you think is the most likely explanation?
Well, I got level 3 traders 2 weeks into Y. And then I was level...
Pestily did that in a day.
Yeah, he's a mad lad. I am level 26. Before I started cheating, in a day's cheating, I was level 42. So, undetected cheat. Was he Edge of Darkness?
So you had EOD on your account?
No, I did not have EOD. Was that guy Edge of Darkness? The guy that you were saying was speed hack?
Most often not. Almost never are they EOD.
Yeah.
But see, the other piece of it too is that there are tons of times where you die to somebody that seemed blatant. There's to me it's possible. There's 4 scenarios, right? They were blatantly cheating and they killed you and you saw it. Another scenario is there was some crazy desync and it looked like speed hacks or whatever, and they killed you and you thought they were cheating, but they were legit. But then there's all the times where you just got shot in the back of the head. You didn't even see anybody, but nothing seems fishy, but they might have had wall hacks and sped up behind you without you knowing. So there's plenty of times where you die. How often do you think people are dying to players that are cheating and they don't even know it?
Depending on the map, labs, this might seem really stupid, but labs probably is 85%. A speed hacker can wipe a lobby in 5 minutes. He just runs around, kills everybody, loots, sells his stuff. So if the guy is blatant, so he walks around a corner and doesn't hear you, doesn't. Because if you're running around the place, then you will get shot in the back of the head. It's just the way that Tarkov is. If you're quiet, you're sneaking, you're being a little rat, and some guy just comes on the corner and headshots you out of nowhere, he's just like cheating. Which, yeah.
Now, to play devil's advocate, there are times where, like, I'll hear somebody breathing. They think they made no noise. I'll peek out and I'll headshot them.
That's fair.
So,
I mean,
so yeah, to play devil's advocate, it's really hard to know if you didn't make noise or not, right? Like,
it's really hard to know. But when I was dying in labs, the guys were just stupid. Like I would be down, let's say, I would be down in the sewers. I might have spawned in the sewers. By the time I get to the green hallway, there's someone already there just lasering me through. I wish I recorded some of it and like put it onto a subreddit, but I don't know. Just
and so, and you didn't see cheaters outside of labs? Because technically you were cheating.
Really. Yeah, I didn't really see many cheaters on maps like Interchange. I don't really want to see like any other maps just in case it fuels cheating on these maps. That makes sense. But
Gotcha.
I didn't really see any more cheaters than on maps.
Okay.
I was watching a friend. There was a cheater on Interchange. That was one, but I've never seen it with my own eyes in my own raid. So.
And do you know what it was that triggered the ban? Do you think they just detected the?
Probably, no, it was one of three things: no recoil, no stamina, or infinite breathing. It was one of them.
Okay.
But right now, we don't know which one.
But so, it's important to know that even if you, let's say you were less blatant, right, and you were more careful, that you could get banned because of what other people are doing with the same cheat, and once they discover it on one person, would it be safe to say that it's easy? Do you think it's easy for them to discover it for everybody, or?
Yes. If one thing on a cheat flags up, everyone that uses that cheat will get banned. That's why it's so stupid to cheat. Because one person could get everyone banned. In my opinion.
Or you think the majority of them are RMT people, and in that case, unfortunately, whatever they're doing on the business side of things sustains the costs potentially, as opposed to just being like a regular person like you, it would just be ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. RMT kind of could ruin the economy of Tarkov. Very, very, very easily. Because cheaters go in, let's say they find a LEDX, they sell a LEDX for $5. That's why would rich people do raids when they can just buy gear? Anything else?
I don't think so, man. I really appreciate you taking the time, to answer questions, and look, I know it's obviously not easy, if you having to like admit you made a mistake and whatever. But I appreciate it, and I hope that this gives some people some perspective.
And why not a cheat? Don't do it, please.
Yeah.
Cheat, not worth it. 24 hours of fun or maybe 4 years of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I look at it now. But yeah.
All right, is there anything else that you want to, any parting words or anything else you want to say?
See, man, thanks for your time. Been great. Hopefully at least had 5 people learn from this. That's the goal. Yeah.
All right.
For your time.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And once I put all this together, I'll let you know. And thank you again.
Thank you, man. See you later.
All right, have a good one.
Have a good night.